Hello YouTube, it's Sarah and today I am doing my September wrap-up. I managed to read 8 books in September. Woohoo! Yay! However, I'm still behind on my Goodreads goal, so I still have some catching up to do. Hopefully I can do that this month because I am planning on doing NaNoWriMo again in November and hopefully not failing as epically as I did last year. We won't go there. Anyways, the first book I finished in the month of September is Warheart by Terry Goodkind. This was the final book in the Sword of Truth series, and I had this book sitting, figuratively speaking, on my shelf for a while, but knowing that it was the last and final book, just didn't want to pick it up, knowing that it was going to be a goodbye to these characters, that unless I reread these books that I would not be seeing them again, and it was kind of sad, but I really did enjoy the book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars and would recommend you picking up the series. The first book is Wizard's First Rule. Again, that is by Terry Goodkind. Definitely go check it out. I think you'll love it. The next book I finished was the first book of yet another trilogy. I seem to keep starting series. I don't know, maybe I was making up for the one that I just finished. Anyways, I started Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This I listened to an audiobook that I checked out from my library, and I thought this was okay. It didn't suck me in as much, so I only gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but would still recommend it as an interesting book to read. The third book I finished was Trail of Dead by Melissa F. Olson. This is the second book in the Scarlet Bernard series. It follows Scarlet Bernard, who is a Null. What a Null does is it takes all metaphysical powers and basically nullifies them. So a vampire becomes human and must remember to breathe. A werewolf can no longer change, they are human, and witches can't do magic. And so the Null has this like radius, so if any of these beings are within the radius, they suddenly find themselves as a normal person. So she works for a organization and cleans up the oopsies of the worlds, the hidden metaphysical world. So if a werewolf loses control and basically eats someone, then she goes and takes care of the body and the mess so that the police don't accidentally come across these beings. But in this story, someone from Scarlet's past has kind of come and is trying to basically kidnap Scarlet for their own uses. And so she's trying to figure out who and how to stop her, or them, and how to stop them. So 3 out of 5 stars, I would definitely recommend it. The next book I listened to was The Night Circus, which I again got from my library, by Erin Morgenstern. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I usually prefer something with a little more action in it, and there was more drama. So just wasn't my cup of tea, but did enjoy it, so I did give it the 3 out of 5, and I would recommend it. I do like magic, and so that was interesting, and the concept of having 2 people try and like outdo the other one's true magic tricks was really interesting. The next book I finished was the second book of the Sword Art Online series. My husband actually found the Sword Art Online anime and I really enjoyed it, and so I started checking out the graphic novels, and well, there's some nice pictures in there, and I am enjoying it. I'm finding it interesting what the differences are between the book and the anime in like the order of how things occurred, or at least when they're told. But so definitely enjoying this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book was another audiobook that I purchased in Audible, and this is basically an auto buy for me, this series. The In Death series. The latest book to come out was Apprentice in Death by J.D. Robb, and so I loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. In this book, a father and daughter team up to basically terrorize New York City by sniping people. And there is only one person at each location that they go shooting at that they are truly after, but the other kills are basically to hide the one that they're after, to try and elude being detected and having, you know, them be caught before their mission is accomplished. But of course, Eve Dallas isn't gonna let this happen, and her team quickly find out who it is that's sniping, but then must track them down. The next book is an audiobook I checked out from the library, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This book was recommended to me, and wow, was it a mind bender. This book deals with the kind of like the quantum theory, I guess, and a little bit of Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat I can explain a lot better than the quantum theory. Basically you have a cat in the box, and is it alive or dead, and basically your viewing affects the outcome of the cat. But basically the book follows characters that have discovered the ability to go from one timeline, basically, I guess, to another timeline, and every time you make a decision, another timeline breaks off, and the concept is amazing. I am still trying to get around it, and so the idea that every time you have a decision, so there's another you then that's out there that's living the life that had you said yes or said no or whatever, that's the road that you're looking down. Or maybe it's not even as simple as a yes no, maybe it's just as simple as you weren't fast enough to throw the punch to defend yourself in, you know, the bar fight or something, and so now there's another timeline, and oh, what if you kicked the person? Oh, there's another one. And jumping between timelines, and he's thrown into a timeline that is not his, and he's now trying to find his way back to his own timeline because his wife is there. He really wants to be with his wife, and in the timeline he's suddenly thrown into, they're not married. They haven't gotten together at all, basically, since college. So yeah, this book is definitely interesting. Will definitely make your mind spin for days afterwards. I did give it 4 out of 5 stars, so go to your local library and check it out. The final book I managed to squeeze in for September. I literally finished it on the 30th, the final day of September. I finally read Ready Player One. And my husband being a gamer, he's always trying to get me into video games, but so I did enjoy the premise of the story and the idea of the virtual reality world and the idea of, you know, these Easter eggs and these keys being out there. I know I've seen him spend hours in front of the game console trying to find every little thing, like in Uncharted, all those hidden treasures. So definitely enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and so if you haven't read it, go check it out. Those are the books that I managed to finish in the month of September, so please let me know what books that you finished in the month of September, or if you have any recommendations, let me know. And I will see you soon in a new video. TTFN! Yeah, not sure that's gonna work, is that? Wow. Okay. It's just a lighter. It looks like it's on fire. Okay. I guess we're turning them off. It's just too close. Still doing it. Okay. Next, I finished the... Actually, I have this book. I should probably go get it. Work my way out of here. Okay. The book follows people that I don't even remember.